All right, the Lions get really good news at the combine. Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes are there, along with some other scouts and personnel from Detroit, of course. And we get some great news about our defensive tackles that are at the combine. I'll get to that in just a second. But another thing that I absolutely loved was what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell said at the combine. First thing, I'll start with Brad Holmes. He talked about addressing the defense straight up. We're going to address the defense. Nobody worry. We're looking at it. We know we have to fix the defense. But he reminded us that last year we drafted 6 players on defense, 5 of which were big time contributors. Everybody but Chase Lucas, but Pascal Hutchinson, Malcolm Rodriguez, James Houston. You can think of all the names, right? We've got Kirby Joseph. We've got 5 rookies that played significant minutes, so the cupboard's not bare. There's a great reminder. Defensively, we have to get better. We have to get better. We have to improve. We know that. But don't forget, it's not like we've got these aging vets and we're cutting guys. It's like, no, we've got a core that's really coming up, and we only hope to add to that, of course. And then Dan Campbell said, hey, we're looking at all positions, right? So don't forget, offensively, he said, hey, we're not going to just pass on a guy because he's an offensive player. He fits everything. He's really good, athletic, loves football, fits our culture, is going to be a great addition to us. Nah, he's offense. We don't really need it. No, we're looking at everything. And Brad Holmes said the same thing as they look at and did their free agent meetings. We need everything. I mean, really, we don't need everything, but we need either a starter or a depth piece at pretty much every position. And there's no question about that. You look at offensive line, you need depth. Quarterback, we need a backup. Running back, still, what are we doing there exactly? Wide receiver, right? So we can go all the way down the list, and we need players. But the best news was you look at the defensive tackles that are at the combine. Pride Detroit has 10 of them here. We'll go through them. This is our chief need, and it looks really good. We've got guys that are big-time players, and really what's nice is Pride Detroit breaks it out really well here. What you've got the team need of interior defensive linemen. We have to stop the run. We have to be better there. But what you have is an Aleem McNeil that's versatile. He can do 3 technique and the nose tackle spot. So really it depends on what we want to do here. It gives us luxury to look at a larger pool of players instead of, all right, we need this one position. Instead, we just need a guy that fits our culture. We keep talking about culture, but obviously it's a real thing. We need a guy that fits our culture, and it doesn't matter his exact position. So Jalen Carter, of course, the superstar, just not going to be there unless something happens. I mean, people get scared off by the arrest and things. I mean, he's the stud. Mozzie Smith. So I'm just not talking about Jalen Carter much because I don't think we're gonna have a chance with him. But look at the other guys. Mozzie Smith, 6'3", 335. Sneaky athleticism is the best way to put it. If you're a Michigan fan, this guy's just stout, solid, but he does have some of that Levi in him. Not Levi, Aleem McNeil, where he's kind of athletic, and it's like, all right, love it. This Baylor nose tackle, 6'4", 355, incredibly powerful at the point of attack and holds his ground, a massive run stuffer. I would love to see us just play so strong up the middle and be great against the run, right? And that's what we're really looking for. You got Benton out of Wisconsin, another 4-year starter, a solid physical guy, not as physically gifted as some of these other guys, but again, another late round. He's projected fourth rounder. Again, a nice depth piece that you could get. Cameron Young, 6'3", 300, not as big, a little undersized, but is long, strong, and natural for his position. Brian Breeze, we've talked about him. There's a guy, and let me know in the comments, out of these guys, somebody that stands out to you, somebody that that would be a good fit for us. And if you look at Breeze, he's a guy that goes in the top 10. He goes in the second round. A lot of different things because he had an ACL, and of course, the story about his sister. So he's either this dude, when he was a freshman, was an absolute stud, then had some bad things happen to him, or I don't know really where he stands. So he could be a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick. Keep an eye on him. So my point is there's depth at the interior defensive line that's really good. Dexter, Florida, 6'6", 315. Didn't have the huge production numbers, but his power and ability to leverage offensive linemen is impressive. So you've got a guy that's just massive there. Roy, LSU, love the SEC guys for this type of stuff. Pickens, South Carolina, SEC, love it, love it. So there's 10 guys right there that we have good stuff coming out of the combine. So they're going up first in the combine. So make sure to give the results, see where they're at speed wise. But Breeze is one of those guys. Is he fast? If he's really fast, he could really improve his draft stock. If he's not, it's like, I don't know where that guy falls. But my point is, we're gonna definitely take one of these guys in the upcoming draft because we don't know where Levi is. Onzawerke is a guy that we took really high in Brad Holmes' first draft, but it's just he's injured. It's a back. He took off the whole year, basically his first year and second year. You don't know where he's at. So let's go get a guy right here. Brad Holmes said it. We're gonna address defense. Nobody worry about it. We're gonna take care of it. But the cupboard's not dry either. It's not or bare. So I keep saying the cupboard's not bare either. We have guys. We have dudes that were rookies that are going to be in their second year. And we're going to add to it. We're going to have more rookies. We're going to have veterans. So in Brad Holmes, we trust. I feel good about the defense. I love what they're saying at the combine. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell saying all the right things because at the end of the day, we know we're a couple players away on defense from really being a good team. Offensively, you look at maybe Chark's back, maybe he's not, but you got Jameson Williams that could really burst on the scene with a full offseason. The rest of our offensive line, Jared Goff's playing well. Of course, our offensive coordinator. Offensively, I just don't feel like there's any way we take a step back. We're just as good or better than we were last year in second year of Ben Johnson's offense. So we know defensively, man, if we could just sure up a couple of things, because the last 10 games we really weren't bad except for the Carolina game. That's it. We really weren't that bad. So we're not far off from being a team that can win the division, home playoff game. You know the story. Home playoff game, win a couple playoff games. You're in the NFC Championship game. I'm getting ahead of myself, but just take care of the defense just a little bit. And we don't need to make this massive overhaul. We just need to add a couple free agents, a couple draft picks, and we could have something. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. A lot of content coming over the next few weeks and really months as we get into the draft and really watch Brad Holmes do his thing. And also become a member. A member is a little bit different than subscribe. And subscribe and just hit the button. Member, you actually get a few things for becoming a member. Check the link out below to do that. And we'll see all of you on the next one.